So what you do, basically you cut it. Maybe you've seen a fish that is cut in between and it's grilled. It looks pretty beautiful. So we'll start the process of grilling the fish. Of course, wash it a little bit, right? Afraid it was already washed. If you did remove the scales, you'd have to remove the scales. This one was already prepared. And now to demonstrate, when you plan to do that to a fish, to cut it in between, you don't cut it here or cut it like that. Instead, you remove the internal parts from the gills. So you remove the gills and pull out all the intestines inside, so that when you cut, it doesn't remain with a very big space. So here we go. We start cutting, our cutting process. So the first thing that you do, you cut on the tail, just like that. Slightly not cutting the tail completely, so it creates a gap there. So this is the gap that you're going to use now to begin to cut on the side until you reach the head. So I'll start the cutting process. So here we go. Okay, you can see when I reach this side, so I have to be very gentle. There's a part where there are more bones. Okay, when I reach here, you still have to cut. Just use a little bit of energy. It will cut the head. Okay, see that? Just be careful so that you don't cut yourself. So this head has to be cut. Okay, that means we've cut. Okay, so once I've cut that, I have to shell it nicely. This part of the bones have to be on the other side. Okay, so you can feel them break. So they have to be on the other side. So I'll cut that. Okay, so just make sure. Okay. So there's some bones that, I don't know if they're called thorns or bones, that are a bit stubborn. So you have to cut a little bit more on that part until it's open wide. Okay, so you can turn it on the other side and cut some more. Okay, just be careful so that you don't cut the entire part to show the other side. Okay. Alright, so as you can see now, our fish has been cut. Okay, of course, when you're cutting, this part was not supposed to be cut the way I've done it. It was supposed to remain like that, attached to this flesh, but it's not a big deal. This is partially done. So once it's done, just make sure that your pan is clean, and you can put it there. And you've got spices. You can now begin to add your spices to this, and that's the next phase that we're going to go into, where we now add our spices to this fish.